of the pie, but the person with the biggest is bigger than I. Take somebody's helping if it catches your eye. You won't notice who's suffering when you take a bite. Your loss is always someone else's gain. In finance or relationships, the rule is the same. Dressing up a proverb like it came from my brain. There are some things in this life that don't need to be explained. Everything is on a database in any case. Credit card, mobile phone card registration plates. Soon the government will require your DNA, and a corrupt official falsify evidence to put you away. CCTV follows me. Easy to trace is your internet history. Privacy is no longer a part of modern life. Watch out for piracy, your identity could be in doubt. I think I said it before, you check your jurisdiction before you start a war. You do not need to say anything, but anything you do say can be held against you in a court of law. I'm gonna say it again, you can't go through life being everybody's friend. It may harm and offensive to not mention when questions something which you later rely on in court. I'm gonna tell you straight, better late than never, but there's no excuse for being late. You have the right to consult a lawyer before speaking to the police and to have a lawyer present during questioning, now or in the future. I'm gonna say it once more, nothing good will come from transgressing the law. Knowing and understanding your rights as I've explained them to you, willing to answer my questions without a lawyer present. Everybody wants a little piece of the action, like McCartney when he bought Michael Jackson. Actually, I think it was the other way around. Michael bought the Beatles for £47 million. Where did he get that kind of money from? You're wondering. His revenue was huge before he had the chance to squander them. His downloads were through the roof the minute he died, and the film they made of the concert was as good as seeing him live. There was a little confusion around his death. Some story about medication was sold to the press. So entered the best performer of his generation, whose extraordinary talent belied a dreadful situation. A man who never truly came to terms with who he was. Always a superstar, always a god, always fallible to the dangers of his fantasy. Believing something doesn't make it true, unfortunately. I think I said it before, you're only as good as your last performance. You do not need to say anything, but anything you do say can be held against you in a court of law. Let me put it like this, if it looks like it and smells like it, it probably is it. It may harm and offensive to not mention when questions something which you later rely on in court. We're gonna take it from the top, so stop me when you think enough is enough. You have the right to consult a lawyer before speaking to the police and to have a lawyer present during questioning, now or in the future. I think it's all in your mind. Did it all happen by accident or was it design? Knowing and understanding your rights as I've explained them to you, willing to answer my questions without a lawyer present. Everybody needs to get a sense of perspective. Doesn't take a detective to locate the objective here. Protective gear donned in the back of the van, quick as they can, cause adrenaline will wait for no man. The trouble is the call came when the trouble was on. Now the trouble is gone, but more trouble is on the way with guns. The proportion of response is what the press release will say, but the press release is grey and the press will have a field day. It doesn't make any difference, just a lot of what ifs and inconsistence. You do not need to say anything, but anything you do say can be held against you in a court of law. Everyone's under pressure. When action is required, it's either now or never. It may harm and offensive to not mention when questions something which you later rely on in court. I can see through those lies. Your alibi is only your word against mine. You have the right to consult a lawyer before speaking to the police and to have a lawyer present during questioning, now or in the future. It's up to you to decide, but the prosecution's case is watertight. Knowing and understanding your rights as I've explained them to you, willing to answer my questions without a lawyer present.